In this video, we'll be continuing the WICSO series. This is episode 3. Welcome to my channel. Alright, so the first thing that's gonna happen is the purple team actually exploring more of Turkey and down to the point that they reach decent sized part of Turkey. Red team doesn't go with Turkey because they're more focused over here with rising tensions, including an alliance that's against them, which they don't know that yet. They don't know that yet, but they are kind of fear this alliance because it's like right next to them. Anyways, this Tribe Nation doesn't really do anything because it's Tribe Nation, but they do realize that big nations survive longer. But they don't really have anything good. Because at this point, shields are a thing, good boats are also a thing. And yeah, they don't really have any good boats and stuff. What they are used to is the really hot climate of Arabia. It just kind of gives them an advantage of expanding territory. And, you know what I mean. The Cyan team goes and claims more territory of Norway and then connects up with another colony. With the territory. Colony territory? I don't know. They also go explore Norway. Some more of Norway. They even decide to go up. That's when they realize it's colder than they thought. So they go back. They do explore more Sweden. And discover this little island. The Red Bird Kingdom, that's what I'm going to call it from now on. And if change is the change. Okay. Alright, so they start exploring Finland and more into like Russia territory. And they also start expanding into Finland as well. They even take the island and also go into Sweden, taking the territory. They also expand more into Russia and German territory, going Polish. If you're from Poland, then I like you. You're cool. You're chill. Anyways. Yeah, they also connect up territory. Make the land even bigger. Meanwhile, Orange team go up into Dutch territory. Through here. And the Cyan team follows along by taking territory over here. Taking more, German territory. They also take this island over here. I forgot what it's called, but yeah, I don't call it island. Red team not being used kind of, I mean, who would? This thing's pretty hot. Anyways, so they go expand more into Greece and the Balkans. They also take over these islands. They don't want to go to Turkey because they don't know what's out there. And I'm pretty sure everyone's realizing that if you don't know completely what's out there, then nothing's gonna happen. Because when they discovered the Redbird Nation, they also, people who discovered it actually got imprisoned. So people were pretty scared of discovering the land. That's why they do it anyways. They discover this entire place right here. The blue team also more It's more luxurious over here. They also, the blue team mostly goes down here. But then they had to stop because it's pretty hot. It's Africa. Recently, almost everything up here is desert. Except for the Nile. Nile is pretty cool. Also, anyways, Egypt. They followed the river, the Nile basically, and they take all of it. Since they're getting more used to the hot climate of Africa and the Middle East, exploring and expansion is not really getting too hard. But they do have to, but they can't just expand infinitely. So they have to pretty much stop here or there. Over here, they go down a little bit, explore even more territory, even explore the point where they reach like this. And keep exploring until they reach this. Because something insane, something is gonna happen. With the red team being with a bunch of the new red team's kings and queens being expansionists. They like to expand, they like to explore, take, repeat. So they just go to expand this way. And they feel pretty threatened. So guess what? Yep, our first actually major war is gonna start. Yes. When they heard about this, they're like, oh no. Because they realized, like, okay, we should be. After that revolution, since most people actually helping defend were the royal guard, they realized, all right, let's get some people to defend the whole country. So they did, and everyone followed. So now they might actually use it for the first time. They don't know what's gonna happen, but they do know that defending could be a good thing. So the yellow team first actually pushes through here, being mostly used to the Rocky Mountains. So is the red team, so they kind of push back, taking the city again. Blue team also just pushes through red team territory. They also connect it up to stop trading through water to make it just so they can make it easier. They also as they're doing it, they also kind of explore some territory through Africa. So the red team is not doing pretty good. They do kick out the yellow team for more, but it's not really. But they had to send more troops over here, which is kind of not good. I mean, no, they're sending troops down here to help defend and attack, which does succeed actually. They do eventually push back. Since they can't focus two fronts, it's kind of like a switch. Like on one front they win, another front they kind of start losing. But that's gonna change, because the Egyptians are gonna become independent now. When they realize this, they're like, oh shoot, what do I do now? Because Egypt's basically a main place of gold. This is like their place of most gold. Since they left, they're running out. They realize that this war is gonna take more position, like sinking basically. But something even worse is gonna happen. Yep, a revolution. Like, hey, we should stop expanding and stuff. We should just do this, do that, blah blah blah. So revolution happens. So they kind of break away. So they break away. Yeah. And with the blue team and the yellow team also invading, yeah, the red team is not gonna suit good. Do really good. They start losing Italian parts of the Italian peninsula. They even lose these islands. Yellow team, because they have pretty good boats. They start pushing into the Greece. So does the green team. They also start pushing Greece, because a part of Greece wants to also do the same thing. They decide to join them. So they take that. Green team once again starts pushing through more territory, and so does the yellow team. The point where the red team might as well have collapsed. And they say, can we please stop fighting? And say, sure. So, yeah, the first peace treaty also in this world has been signed. Okay, so the red team loses. So the red team loses basically part of the time. They get to keep Sicily and other Italian places. They do lose territory. They do lose territory over here. They're like, hey, yeah, you can't be in these areas anymore. So yeah, they're kicked out from here. From here. No one can agree who owns Greece, so no one can agree who owns Greece. So they decided to make its own nation. I mean, that makes sense, because if you can't agree on something, you gotta make it something that doesn't exist. Decided to make it its own nation. And this new team gets to have, well, most of this territory over here. The blue team doesn't really want it. They do get to keep some of it though. Like this much. The Egyptian gets to be independent. The red team has to pay tons of money to every nation, and includes Egypt as well. So yeah, the red team has been just really much weakened from after that war. Let me fix it for you. So yes, and a lot of people are really mad that this war happened. A lot of people like upset the war happened because they don't like war. I mean, nobody does. So that's why some people left actually. And before like the war happened, actually no, like once like the war was official, they kind of left to like Germany over here and France. No offense for any French people. Like a nice pinkish nation has formed. Okay, let's close the red. So I don't know, like before the war, there was like 3 to 4 million people here, and then now it's like just 1.5 million, because that war is brutal. So also because I'm like 500,000 left and made this mission. Well, purple team again. Purple team again. They start expanding through mountains and mountains. Explore more in the middle. Capture, take territory from the Middle East. They also explore, take more territory from Persia. There's no one living there, what I'm saying. Yeah. So they start pretty much expanding through here. Yeah, look at that. And they're kind of like want to make a really long empire. Yeah, that's their idea. They like basically the new king for here wants to make a empire. Also, at this time, the Greeks actually found out that these guys exist. So they both teamed up to discover the rest of Turkey and Cyprus, so that the Egyptians could be also. Since now they got modern maps of what the world actually looks like. Also, this nation was added to that map. They don't know about this one though. I'm pretty sure they do. Actually, not. They know they exist, so they give them part of the map. So now they exist on the map too. So now they realize what exists and what doesn't. So the new king wants to make an empire stretching from like here all the way to like Turkey, like the end of Turkey. So like the first like official big empire was just like they weren't considered empire, more considered like a monarchy something. I don't know. Yeah, but now the red team is collapsed. Anyways, back with the orange team. The orange team seeing this, they realize, yeah, how about we expand a lot so then you can have more protection and chance for any possible stuff like war. So yeah, the other team also decides to expand. So the news gets spread to basically everywhere besides over there. I don't know where it is yet. So everyone's pretty freaked out, except for people who actually fought the war, because they realize like, oh yeah, we better prepare just in case that also happens to us. Hello. Also, the alliance is dissolved because no one's using it for it anymore. Also, green team expands to Turkey. Not green team, like this Greek team. Yeah, I can call them the Greeks. My version of the Greeks have officially decided to go and take land from Turkey and parts of Greece. They expand up here. They expand to over here. So when they heard about this, they're pretty angry. Like, hey, no, we want to take the land. But they didn't cut anything about it because it's pretty far away. And they don't want to go over there. Oh, also, they split the land with Egypt over here. Since Egypt's pretty big, like Egypt's like one of the few biggest nations in the world. Just like behind the Cyan team. So, yeah. Also, this nation finally makes cities and lakes. Yes, also, this nation. Also, everyone decides to make cities to hold their population, because the world kind of experienced like a really small population boom. Like birth rates or something, I don't know, get increased by like 10%. Over here is like, yeah, you can live anywhere, but now it's like, right, let's make places so we do stuff, like sell and stuff. Buy. They don't make cities yet. And yes, they also make cities. Also, nothing has really happened over here until now. They have decided to go explore some more. Yay!
You had a big old hole in your chonies. Nasty. This was 1,000 pieces though. Crazy.
They keep going. To reach here because they're like, I don't know, they're tired.
Ese puzzle es mil.
But they do.
Más es 500. Ese es solo 500.
They do decide to expand into the river to like this over here.
Hi, little girl.
So yeah. Alright, that's gonna be the end of episode 3. Hope you enjoyed, and goodbye.